Welcome to 2021, everybody. This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net, and I'm doing a few general readings for the year using a couple of unusual decks. Well, I'm doing two spreads from the deck of character, which I find to be extraordinarily insightful, and also it provides really interesting ways of looking at things, not at all like the normal oracular view. And this first one actually reminds me of the astrology for the year because it, to me, feels like it encapsulates the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction that launched the year. So let me explain. Let's start with the place, the card that's in the center, the wrestling ring. This indicates life will be filled with activity. But yeah, you can sometimes go to the corner and have someone fan you and bring you water and stuff, but you know, when you're in the ring, you're not crawling out of the ring. This is a high indicator of a lot of activity. Now, let's look at the tools, the treadmill. Okay, you could say, boy, life's a grind. I just have to keep going and going and going and going and going. Let me reframe that. The treadmill can help you get in shape, and you can control the speed. So you can make it go slower and kind of get used to it. You can push yourself, but regardless, you can get in shape and get to the point that you deal better and better with that wrestling ring. And this reminds me of things I read about the leads in a series called Glow, The Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, which was about an LA local TV show with women wrestlers in the 80s. Apparently it was really camp and quite the phenomenon. The actresses in the series, which was on a streaming service, I can't remember which one, actually did their own wrestling. And it was violent and heavily, heavily physical. And I recall reading an interview with at least one of them, marveling at what it did to her sense of self to train to the point that she could actually do these moves on herself. So it was enormously positive for her own sense of empowerment. And I see that as a probability in these cards. And also, you're not doing it alone. Look at the characters. Elves. Magical, mischievous, tiny. Companions, helpers, allies. Have fun with it. Play with it. Call on help. Who cares if it's silly? Who cares if other people don't see what helps you? Call on it. Embrace it. Engage with it. You don't have to do this alone. And how this lines up for the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, in my thinking, is we are taking responsibility for Saturn in a big way, Jupiter, dealing with our place in the world, our place in the collective. And we're not doing it alone. We're doing it with others, Aquarius. And some of those others might be just a bit offbeat, also Aquarius. Next, I have done a 12-month spread using the deck of character. I have two copies of this deck, one in which I keep the tools, resources, and places separate, segregated, and one that I have shuffled and mixed everything up. And so this is the one that is completely shuffled. And I have laid it out in a 12-month spread with a card for the significator in the middle. And it starts just below the 9 o'clock position, the circus for January. Okay, you don't have to look at the national and international news to see how circus might possibly be appropriate for the month of January, but let's pull it down to your own personal level. If life is a circus, where are you in it? Okay, life as circus. Well, it's entertainment. Is it real? Maybe, maybe not. Whatever is going on happens inside the tent, but when you're outside the tent, is that an issue? Maybe not. And where are you in relation to this circus? Do you own the circus? Are you sitting on a bench watching what's going on? Are you the ringmaster? Are you down in the center being one of the performers? You may be bouncing from role to role to role in the month of January. February, going counterclockwise, naked man. And then we get real with ourselves. This is a stripping off of artifice, stripping off of whatever you have cloaked yourself with, and getting down to something incredibly authentic. Interesting development here. So we go from the fancy costumes and the positioning and maybe the rehearsed action and an element of chaos of the circus to the simplicity and naturalness of the naked man for February. And then in March, oh goody, the dumpster. Now, let me put this in positive terms for you. Look at that dumpster. Everything is bundled up. It's not just strewn all over the place and falling out of the dumpster, and you don't see lines showing it being stinky or anything. The garbage is all bagged up, and it is neatly put in a container that someone else can cart away. So March may be a time of decluttering. After February's getting authentic and stripping away of artifice, there may be situations, things, ideas, people, whatever in your life, objects, that you decide, I don't need this anymore, this doesn't have a place for me, and you bag it up and you get rid of it. You put it out on the curb, you put it in the dumpster. But wait, the process isn't over with, because then we go to April and there's that highly lovely vomit. Now, no screaming. Vomit sometimes can be a good thing. Now, is this that you're stepping into somebody else's vomit? I am thinking the way to look at this is, after having gotten real about yourself and some aspect of your life, or maybe your life in general, and consciously shedding a lot of things that no longer fit, there is then a deeper level of purging that comes, and vomit can actually get things out of your system that need to come out. Word vomit, actual physical purging. Perhaps you've had the experience, at least I did this a lot when I was younger, of feeling nauseous and not being able to get past it, and putting a little bit of baking soda in slightly warm water and sipping it. The theory behind this is either it is going to settle everything or it's going to bring it up and clean it out. So this is definitely a bringing it up and cleaning it out month. And then, okay, then we move on to some psychological bits of it when we get into May. Angsty teen. A lot of testing behavior involved here. You know, teenagers are grappling with their bodies feeling different, their emotions feeling different. They're in this weird in-between place that's not quite being a kid and not quite being an adult. And there's a lot of acting out. So angsty teen indicates in May that we're walking around not quite one way, not quite another. And there could be a lot of testing behavior and anxiety floating around. Be kind to yourself. Because then we get to June and, oh my God, the universe. All things are possible. Whatever we have purged, whatever we have gotten through, lands us in a place of at least a sensation of infinite possibilities, and maybe a lot of time, metaphorically or actually lying on your back in the grass, looking up at the stars and contemplating where you might be. And I will point out to you that one person who did that came up with a seemingly silly idea that led to a radio series, and then a TV series, and then a whole series of books, and then a movie, and then another TV series, and that is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which Douglas Adams dreamed up when he was hitchhiking in Spain. And I think it was the idea of having your towel with you that occurred to him first and led to everything. July, following that, whoa, beautiful, beautiful. Kick back, take it easy. You're there in the lounge chair, relaxing, relaxing. It may really feel like you're safe. You can do this. It's okay. How long has it been since you could say that? So this tells me that first part of the year will be active and uncomfortable, more growth-oriented, and then we get this giant payoff of a feeling of fitting, finding our place somehow in the greater scheme of things, and then just relaxing. August, the thief. All right, now do notice that the thief is holding a bag, and there are bags in the dumpster. And what's the thief doing with that bag? Now, in theory, a thief is running off with the bag, but is somebody delivering something to you that you thought you got rid of or that you don't want to look at? There's something going on in August that has a very strong element of not being direct and upfront. Who's the thief? Are you running off with something? Are you absconding with something? Is something being taken from you? And if it's being taken from you, did you really need it? Is it really all that valuable? Again, I refer back to those bags in the dumpster because look, September, wild woman. Now, fascinating. February has naked man. September has wild woman. This year has our masculine side getting stripped down and naked and unadorned. And then it has our feminine side getting naked and just being unfettered and uncontrolled. That looks like the feminine will be really on the rampage in a very positive, a very good way. And that month could be an awful lot of fun. And then October is home, security, feeling safe in yourself, safe in a place. It's cozy. Look, there's a fire burning. Is this coming home to yourself? Very possibly. Could be no place like home. Think of the end of The Wizard of Oz where Dorothy wakes up and there's no place like home is what got her there, and she had what she needed all the time in her own backyard. Well, we've been spending an awful lot of time in our own backyard. Something really good will come from it. November, egg. Masculine and feminine impulses coming together in an act of creation, not yet grown, not yet birthed, but the seed has been planted. And then December, whole. Now, look, compare December to January. January circus, the entrance is this very dark semicircle. Whole, also very dark. It's an oval, like the egg has gone on its side. Whole is not necessarily a bad thing. I suspect December will be a quiet, contemplative month, going deep within, perhaps burying that egg so it has a chance to actually be born. Not crazy, not out of the realm of possibility. And let's go to the card in the middle. This is the general signifier for the year, and that is smoke. Blowing smoke. Is it sacred smoke? Is it smoke sending signals? Is it just clouding the situation? Is it purifying, like from a smudge stick? Smoke is something that you cannot grasp. You can't put your fingers on it. Can't hold it. There's something ethereal, uncontainable about everything happening this year. Is it real? Is it illusion? Again, is it being purified? Is it being covered, blurred, obscured? Could be all of them. My third and final reading is using the Jaya Alchemy Cards that a student of mine picked up in Ireland in the 1990s. I have never seen it for sale in the U.S., and I am using a spread that I do every New Year's Day with it, and we start with the 12 o'clock position, prosperity, treasure, earth. And you'll see that there are these little magical beings that look like, oh, what was that in the first deck of character reading? Elves. This position provides guidance about your attitude, consciousness, and mental energy, and it suggests the wisest approach to take. And this certainly shows focus on the physical, focus on the material world. Earth itself is the real treasure, the planet of the heart, where we receive our lessons in love and living. Its guardians, the leprechauns, come at this time to support your journey into abundance. Discover your own wealth and worth. Then we go to the card at the 6 o'clock position in the south. And this represents an influence that will reflect your energy in relation to yourself and others and will give clues as to what needs attention. Intuition, crystal heart cave. And notice that this is a person alone, much like the Hermit card in the tarot, and heading into a cave. Different take on the circus tent. And this card means intuition comes in the integration of pure intelligence and pure love. This is a mystical union that happens in the deepest cave of the heart. Your urge to withdraw and meditate is right. This speaks to incredible treasures, again, concept of treasure, to be acquired by going within, which is one of the gifts, alas, of social distancing. Then we go to the 3 o'clock position, which reveals what your inner wisdom wishes to relay. And this card is woman power, attraction. And notice that we go from the solitude of intuition to this group energy. There are 3 figures. One has the red cloak, but there's one with yellow and one with purple. They're together. This is kind of like the 3 of Cups in the tarot. Attraction, woman power, the 3 fates, the playful girl, the woman in her power, and the wise old one have joined in you with their gifts of openness, purpose, and serenity. You can now attract whatever you want. And this parallels the eclipse family that we're working with all year, the Gemini, Sagittarius eclipses that very much deal with the power of words and beliefs, creating at a minimum the filter through which you experience life, and more potently actually delimiting and expanding what does come into your life, what you do experience based on the words that you're using and the beliefs that you have. Then we go to the 9 o'clock position, which shows how your heart or inner self feels toward this year. It's the card of the owl, awakening insight. Now, this definitely ties in with the intuition gained by solitude shown in the card at the 6 o'clock position. Owl means your dream world speaks the truth of your present reality. Owl offers the gift of insight, enabling us to unravel the dream and find the truth behind it. Now is the time to trust yourself to the healing powers of the deep unconscious. Well, this definitely ties in with attraction and with intuition. So time spent getting quiet and connecting to whatever's going on inside of you certainly is showing up as being highly productive and profitable. And now we go to the card that's at the 1 or 2 o'clock position. This depicts the energetic change to happen next in your life, and it presents the opportunities for transformation. And that card is All-Knowing Fox. Be alert. This interestingly parallels that Thief card in the just immediate deck of character reading. All-Knowing Fox, be alert. Fox indicates playing cards close to your chest, knowing that there are things going on that maybe you're not seeing, and not tipping your hand to what you're up to. And the meaning in this deck of All-Knowing Fox is the fox has the wisdom to snap up opportunities and sense the pathways to success. Trust your instincts with people. You are a good survivor. Be authentic and original and weave your spell of success now. Now, that business about authentic sure is paralleling Naked Man and Wild Woman. And this card also speaks to being able to take the wisdom and the intuition and the insight that you're getting from solitude and it being, again, very useful and productive and profitable for you out in the world. The card opposite that, at the 7 or 8 o'clock position, deals with career issues or the work that needs to be done. Plants and planets. Interconnectedness. Boy, this sure sounds like the universe in June. And this means the supportive life forces are working together to help you connect with the right people and opportunities. An inner urge to fulfill your destiny moves you on. You getting the message yet that you're not gonna be stuck this year and you'll have lots of help? Then look over to the 4 or 5 o'clock position. This relates to your support systems and your feelings about survival. Dingle Dolphin, love. Sure doesn't feel alone, does it? The dolphin is the healer of the heart. His gift of feeling is as deep as the ocean and light as sea spray. He urges you to follow the flow of your own rhythms and to take time out. Love will help you now to find the home within yourself. And there we have another link to the deck of character 12-month reading. And now look up at the top, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. This describes your karmic condition, the unavoidable lesson, and shows how to deal with the issue. The caterpillar, blissful change. Well, this sure smells like Pluto in Capricorn. Metamorphosis, changing on a fundamental level. The growth of consciousness into a blissful state. After a period of struggle, surrender to change gives rise to a brighter energy. Your personality and spirit are now enjoying a new flexibility, so be adventurous. And then we have the card in the middle, which reflects the essence of the reading and gives an overall view, expressing the collective wisdom of the wheel and what existence has to say on the theme of the year, and it is balance. Dizzy heights and deepest depths. And there's a sea goat, which is the symbol of Capricorn, where Pluto is, which I just mentioned as the locus of our transformation that is occurring. Life is just and fair, whether it is clear to us or not. It is often through extreme experiences that we find our balance, strength, and compassion. Stand firm in your center and enjoy the flow around you. And this sure sounds like an outgrowth of everything that we went through in 2020. And all of these cards indicate a lot of activity, a lot of personal growth, and many inner tools and experiences and developments that will translate into wondrous outer world developments and experiences. I wish you a far better 2021 than you have any hope to expect. And of course, if you would like to have your own readings about what is coming for you, you can find me at empowermentunlimited.net.